Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2013 McLaren P1. Now this has 1,113 horsepower, 819 pounds-feet of torque from its 3.8 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine, plus electric motor and battery, and the car itself now weighs 3,104 pounds. Now it has off-road suspension, off-road tyres and all-wheel drive, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 1.887 seconds, 0 to 100 in 3.559 seconds, and go to a top speed of 246 miles an hour. So, principally chosen this because the ATS GT in the previous episode was phenomenally quick, and that car is somewhat based off of McLaren chassis as well as engine. So, yeah, let's nonetheless see what this car can do, and hopefully it can match that ATS. Now granted, this doesn't have all that much extra in the way of power. It's only about 210 horsepower more than what it had originally. But that doesn't mean at least that this car was meant obviously to deal with more than 900 horsepower, so the power really shouldn't be too much of an issue. Only real issue is obviously going to be the all-wheel drive and obviously dealing with off-road elements. So hopefully it's got the traction to deal with not only the elements but obviously the extra bit of power. But obviously it also weighs less and yeah, therefore is slightly better in terms of handling than it was originally. Only worry is that this weighs more than the ATS GT did, while having less power. Not a massive amount of reduction in power, but less power nonetheless. But it does have more torque, which again is helpful. But yeah, still really surprised by how quick that ATS GT was, because I didn't think it was the smoothest of runs. The car did suffer from understeering parts, but yeah, for whatever reason, first car to break the 2-minute barrier and nearly a second quicker than a car that was meant to go off-road in the form of that Toyota Land Cruiser. So yeah, massive surprise that car, so let's hopefully at least maybe match it, but I think that's quite a tall order, to be honest. It might have been just a complete fluke that I got it that quick. But it would be interesting to know that, you know, cars like this can do better than their off-road counterparts, because you know, that's not something I would have predicted when starting this series out. It does feel a little bit more agile than the ATS, despite the fact it weighs more. I guess the additional torque does help get this car out of the corners along with the all-wheel drive. Not going to be the GTS unfortunately, but we are still comfortably in the top 25 at 2 minutes 4 seconds .151. We actually beat a 1999 Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution, as well as the Lotus Esprit S1, Porsche Panamera Turbo, Mini John Cooper Works Countryman, Chevrolet Camaro ZR1 1LE, and the Subaru WRX STI Rally car. Slightly behind the Citroën DS Racing and the Volkswagen I.D, as well as the Ford Ranger Raptor and the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk, and yeah, obviously way off the ATS, which yeah still sits at 1 minute 59.713 seconds. So yeah, nearly 5 seconds quicker than this car, that ATS, but still a fairly reasonably good time, and yeah, no real problems in terms of handling or performance. It just lacks the extra oomph that the ATS had in terms of horsepower, and obviously weighs a significant amount more as well. Weighs more than 500 pounds extra, this car, so yeah, the hybrid technology there probably weighing it down a bit, but yeah, still reasonable, no real problems, just a little bit unremarkable in comparison to what we saw before in the previous episode. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.